Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We'll have some laughs on this Friday. Lucille-Ball, Richard Denning, in the precursor to I Love Lucy, My Favorite Husband, as this show was originally broadcast 72 years ago, March 24th, 1951. And we thank you for joining us on this TGI Friday. This is the 24th day of March. It is the 83rd day of the year, 282 days remaining until we get to 2024. Metropolitan Life Insurance Company, founded on this date in 1868. 1882, Robert Koch announced the discovery of the bacterium responsible for tuberculosis. In 1900, New York City Mayor Robert Anderson Van Wyck broke ground for a new underground rapid transit railroad that would link Manhattan and Brooklyn, the beginning of the subway. In an event later dramatized in the movie The Great Escape, 76 prisoners began breaking out of Stalag Luft 3. 1965, NASA spacecraft Ranger 9, equipped to bring its convert signals in a form suitable for showing on domestic television, brought images of the moon into ordinary homes before a crash landing. The Reagan administration on this date in 1986 said U.S. naval forces launched additional attacks against a Libyan missile site and against Libyan patrol vessels overnight. The attacks followed missile firings by Libya at U.S. battleships operating in international waters.
We were fired on and hostile acts committed by very lethal missiles while we were in international waters by Libyan forces, and we have responded.
American officials said the Sixth Fleet in the Mediterranean had destroyed 2 Libyan missile patrol boats and had struck a missile site on the coast. In 1989, the Exxon Valdez oil tanker ran aground in Alaska's Prince William Sound. Over 240 barrels leaked from the vessel.
It's Valdez back. We should be on the radar there. We've fetched up Goose Island off Boy Reef. And evidently leaking some oil. And we're going to be here for a while. And if you want to say you're notified, over.
Captain Joseph Hazelwood told the Coast Guard after the ship ran aground he intended to free the tanker. But Coast Guard Commander Steve McCall told him via radio that wasn't a good idea.
Before you make any drastic attempt to get underway, you make sure you don't start doing any ripping. I wouldn't recommend doing much wiggling. Over.
Now, Hazelwood ended up being convicted of a negligent discharge of oil charge, a misdemeanor. He was fined $50,000, sentenced to 1,000 hours of community service. 2002, Halle Berry became the first African-American performer to win a Best Actress Oscar for Monsters Ball. 2003, the Arab League voted 21-1 in favor of a resolution demanding the immediate and unconditional removal of U.S. and British soldiers from Iraq. And in 2012, former Vice President Dick Cheney underwent a heart transplant at a Virginia hospital. Passing away on this date in history, Queen Elizabeth I of England, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Jules Verne, the author, also actor Sam Jaffe, comedian Ray Goulding of Bob and Ray, Harold Melvin of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, actor Richard Widmark, actor Robert Culp, best remembered for I Spy, Gary Shandling, a fine comedian, very funny man, and also from some great movies, Jessica Walter from Play Misty for Me, and also she won an Emmy for the television program Amy Prentice. All passed away on this date in history. Birthdays today include Harry Houdini, politician Thomas Dewey, crime figure Clyde Barrow, cartoonist Joseph Barbera, Gorgeous George, pro wrestler who really was very, very amazing in his day. Not a great wrestler, but a great performer. Gene Nelson, an actor. Also Norman Fell, remember him from the Ropers. Steve McQueen, singer Billy Stewart. Don Jardine, the original Spoiler. Saw him for years. An amazing man. And comedian Louis Anderson. Now, Nick Lowe, Cruel to Be Kind. British musician, 74 today. Fashion designer Tommy Hilfiger is 72. You remember Revenge of the Nerds? You remember Louis Skolnick? Robert Carradine, 69 years old today. From Saturday Night Fever and the TV show Angie, Donna Pescow is 69. Pro wrestler Barry Horowitz, who wrestled a few weeks ago in Impact Wrestling. He is 64 years old today. Barry Horowitz. He was a guy. From Weird Science, Kelly LeBrock, 63. Also, the lady who sang about 99 red balloons that had nothing to do with the Chinese spy balloons, Nina, 63. The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, 58 years old today. Also from Twin Peaks, Laura Flynn Boyle is 53. Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory, Jim Parsons, 50. She was Willow on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and How I Met Your Mother. Allison Hannigan, 49. Jessica Chastain is 46. He was Jack Swagger in the WWE and in mixed martial arts and in AEW. Jake Hager, who likes his hat. He's 41 years old. The wife of pro wrestler Miro, who was mainly a manager. Lana in the WWE. CJ Perry, 38. And WWE's Lacey Evans is 33. Those just a few of the people who celebrate. The 24th day of March is their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
And from 72 years ago, March 24th, 1951, Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, My Favorite Husband. That's up next on this Friday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station. Periodically, you hear me refer to My Favorite Husband as the predecessor to I Love Lucy, and it really was. Lucille Ball, Richard Denning in My Favorite Husband was a fairly decent success on radio. And, of course, if you look at what the show could have been on television as I Love Lucy, had the whole television cast been able to come over, Gale-Gordon, bea-benederet, could you imagine the two of them as Fred and Ethel Mertz? That would have been a hoot. But when the radio show went to television, Lucille Ball refused to do the show without her real-life husband, Desi Arnaz. The network reluctantly agreed. Jell-O didn't go along with it, and so Philip Morris Tobacco sponsored it, Philip Morris Cigarettes. Gale-Gordon and bea-benederet given first consideration, but they had contracts that forced them to turn down the series. The same writers brought over Bob Carroll Jr., Madeline Pugh Davis, Jess Oppenheimer, continuing with I Love Lucy, and they reworked a lot of My Favorite Husband episodes into I Love Lucy episodes early in the run. And I have to tell you that the show was really, really delightful. And they did try to bring My Favorite Husband to TV in 1953, starring Joan Caulfield and Barry Nelson as Liz and George Cooper. George Cooper, a well-to-do bank executive, and it was really a much more like the original radio show was, instead of becoming what I Love Lucy did. Much different show. Now, from March 24th, 1951, My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball and Richard Denning.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, it's the Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning. Transcribed and brought to you by the Jell-O family of red letter desserts.
big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O puddings. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. And now let's look in on the Coopers. Tonight we're going to ask you to go back with us to an evening 2 weeks ago. George and Liz are entertaining George's boss, Mr. Atterbury, and his wife, Iris. Dinner is over and the group has just settled down in the living room.
Oh, gee, that was a delicious dinner, Liz.
Ah, thank you, honey, baby doll. That's why I love you. Because you say such sweet things to me. Give me a kiss.
All right.
What a disgusting exhibition.
It is not, Rudolph. You should try acting like that.
All right. Come here, Liz.
Not with her.
Oh.
I'm sorry if I overdid it, Mr. Atterbury, but I'm feeling mellow toward George tonight. He promised to buy me the Easter hat I want.
Easter? Is it almost Easter time again?
Of course, Iris. It's a week from tomorrow.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know it? How could you miss all the ads?
So that's what's been cut out of our paper before I came.
Lotus bud.
Tell me, girl, has Christmas been here yet?
Oh, you're a scream. George, did you actually promise to buy Liz an Easter hat?
Well, sure.
Without putting up a struggle?
Yes.
You're something of an idiot, aren't you, boy?
Well, but what's the harm in buying a little hat?
When you've been married as long as I have, you'll know that a woman can parlay a bonnet into a whole spring wardrobe.
Liz, is that true?
Absolutely not. Although, come to think of it, the straw hat I picked out won't go with my last year's outfit at all.
I rest my case.
Sorry, Liz, I'm not going to get stung for a whole outfit.
But, George, what am I going to wear in the Easter parade?
A new hat, and that's all.
Well, all right, but I'm liable to collect a crowd.
Yeah. She'll really be the grandest lady in the Easter parade.
Iris, what's happened? When George and I were first married, I got a complete new outfit every Easter.
So did I, girl.
George used to say he liked to show off my cute little figure.
So did Rudolph.
Whatever happened to those husbands?
The same thing that happened to those cute little figures.
What?
Rudolph.
Touché, Mr. Atterbury.
What do you mean? What happened to our figures? I'll have you know I can still wear a size 12.
Me too.
Iris, Liz isn't talking about her shoe size.
Neither am I. I have exactly the same measurements as the day George and I were married.
Oh, now, let's face it, honey. We've all put on a little weight in the interim.
That's not the only place.
Just never mind. George, do you remember that blue dress I had the first Easter we were married?
Yeah.
Well, I still have it, and I'm going up right now and put it on, and it'll fit perfectly, too.
Oh, Liz, it doesn't matter.
I'll show you. Come on, Iris. I know that dress is here someplace. Oh, here it is.
Oh, look at the cut of it, Liz.
Yeah, it's been up here so long it's back in style again.
You know, you're right.
The idea of George thinking I couldn't get into this dress. See how easily it slips down over my shoulders? And down over my waist? And down over my... Down over my... Down over my...
What's the matter, girl?
I've hit a snag.
Yeah.
Never mind. The dress has shrunk, that's all.
Girl, this is Iris. Save that propaganda for the boys. Admit it, you put on weight in the hips.
I prefer to think of it as a little avoirdupois on the back of my lap.
Well, whatever you call it, it's still in the way. The dress won't come down over your hips.
Look, maybe if you pull on the bottom of the skirt and I hold my breath, we can do it.
Well, all right, girl, I'll try.
Okay, pull. Pull some more.
Pulling. It's too bad we don't have a big shoehorn. Hold your breath. There.
Phew. I did it. Come on, let's go down and show George.
Hold it, girl.
What's the matter?
You have a bad case of gaposis.
Huh?
You aren't zipped up the side.
Oh, I thought it was too easy. Zip me up, please.
Okay. Yeah. There's something in the way.
What?
You. Hold your breath again.
Okay.
There. We made it. Now, don't dare exhale until we go down and show you to the boys. Come on.
George, boy, what's taking the girls so long up there?
Oh, who knows?
Here we are.
Liz, my gosh, you made it. You got into that dress.
She's got you, boy.
Oh, I'm amazed. Oh, I never thought you could do it. Did you have any trouble, Liz?
No, it was a cinch.
Gee, how long's it been since you wore that, Liz?
10 years.
Well, Liz's voice has changed.
Liz, is something wrong?
Nope.
Are you holding your breath?
No.
I might have known.
Gad, look at her face. I've never seen such an interesting shade of blue.
Okay, she's in the dress, George. I guess she proved her point. Come on, Liz, let's go take it off.
No, wait. I want to look at Liz some more. I think it's remarkable that she hasn't gained an ounce in 10 years.
Yes, come on, Liz.
You keep out of this, Lotus Bud.
You're sure you're not holding your breath, Liz?
No. Well, let's go.
No. Stick around, Liz. I want to admire you in that dress. Oh, just stand there and let me look at you.
Oh, dear.
Cheap material.
Well, Liz, I guess you'll have to admit you've gained a little weight.
Well...
Too bad, girls. George and I had just decided if you actually had the same figures you did 10 years ago, we were going to buy you both new Easter outfits.
You were?
We were? Oh, yes, we were.
Well, too bad. Better luck next Easter.
Oh, nuts.
Wait a minute. It's still a deal.
What do you mean?
There's still time. If Iris and I reduce until we have those measurements again, can we have new Easter outfits?
Yeah.
Well, can we?
Huh?
I guess we're in for it, George. But let's get a few things straight. Just what size do you girls plan to diet back to?
12.
Iris, how about you?
24.
Now, just a minute, Lotus Bud. You said you used to wear a 12, too.
12 times 2. That's 24.
Iris, either you get down to a 12 or the deal's off.
All right.
We'll go down to Miller's first thing tomorrow and have them put aside 2 size 12 suits.
Yeah, and we'll go along to see that they really put aside size 12.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you trust us.
And first thing tomorrow, we start eating watercress sandwiches. Iris,
I just thought of something.
What's that, girl?
If we get down to size 12 again, we'll be so gorgeous we won't have to look for new suits. We can look for new men.
March 24th, 1951, My Favorite Husband on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater family, you know our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by just creating the best pillow. He created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me because, you know, I'm working like 67 hours a day. Now, Mike's offering the best deal on his Giza Dreams bed sheets ever. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. You'll never want to sleep on anything else once you slept on a set of Giza Dream sheets. A special offer for you right now. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. Call 1-800-928-4715. Use the promo code Wyatt. Or go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Wyatt. It's good on anything on the website. That number again, 1-800-928-4715. Use my promo code Wyatt. Thanks for spending part of your Friday with us here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We are listening to an episode of My Favorite Husband starring Lucille Ball and Richard Denning, as it was originally broadcast on Saturday, March 24th, 1951. In the newspapers of that Saturday, 72 years ago, these are some of the headlines. Allied paratroopers and ground forces forged a solid front 20 miles north of Seoul, ceasing most of the Reds' last stand territory below the 38th parallel. General MacArthur, flying to the front today, said the daring operation virtually ended all organized Red resistance anywhere in South Korea. His troops were as close as 2 miles to the artificial boundary for North and South Korea. The government announced yesterday that the supplies of tires and tubes for new automobiles will be cut 25% beginning April 1st. The National Production Authority also announced that rubber for civilian use in April will be cut back 7,500 tons, and that inventories of tires at all distribution levels will be limited to a 30-day supply. The cutbacks are necessary because of an unexpected jump in military demands for rubber and a loss in synthetic production. The cuts in tires for new automobiles may slash production of cars even more than recent steel restrictions. Senator Charles W. Tobey, the Republican of New Hampshire, disclosed yesterday the Senate will be asked to continue its crime committee another 60 days to clean up some rotten spots. But Chairman Estes Kefauver promptly announced he will oppose the move. Kefauver said any further investigation would only duplicate the pattern the committee has already turned up and might prevent Congress this year from action on new anti-crime laws. In a surprise move, the Army yesterday slashed its April draft call from 80,000 men to 40,000. The Army explained it was getting twice the number of volunteers and losing far fewer men in Korea than was expected when the April call for 80,000 draftees was issued February 1st. The Atomic Energy Commission announced a new step last night looking toward the possible development of atom-powered planes. It said it's authorized the negotiation of a contract with the aircraft gas turbine divisions of General Electric for the further development of a nuclear reactor for aircraft. A reactor produces atomic energy, and the aim is to devise ways of making the heat from it propel an airplane. A turbine is a rotary motor. Well, the cost of living rose 1.3% from January 15th to February 15th and set a new record, that according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The Bureau's index figure was high enough to give 1 million non-operating railroad workers a 6-cent hourly pay rise. Actually, they may not get that much, however, because the increase would exceed the government's wage ceiling. The Bureau of Labor Statistics announced 2 indices for February 15th under its new style computation starting this year. The month's increase was 193%, bringing the index to 183.8% of the 1935-1939 base period, 8% higher than the level for June 1950, before the Korean fighting began, and 9.5% above a year ago. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Saturday, March 24th, 1951, on your radio, My Favorite Husband. The conclusion next on this Friday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station. We'll start off our weekend on Saturday's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox with an episode of Casey Crime Photographer starring Stotts Cotsworth from March 25th, 1948, 75 years ago. Blind Justice. Milt Haben, a disliked defense attorney, has received a death threat. When the assassin strikes, it's Haben's wife who's shot to death. The last show of the current series of shows. That's coming up on Saturday's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now the conclusion of My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball and Richard Denning, 72 years ago, March 24th, 1951.
As we look in on the Coopers once again, we find them with the Atterberries in Miller's department store.
I think the suits are over this way, Iris.
I believe you're right, girl.
Why don't we go this other way? It's much shorter.
Shorter? That takes us all the way through the lingerie department.
I know.
Yeah, let's go that way.
Never mind, George.
Yeah, they have the cutest models around here.
Mr. Atterbury, you're wasting your time winking at that girl.
Oh, am I?
Yes, Rudolph.
If you pinch her, all you'll get is wax in your nails. She's a dummy.
Well, it takes one to know one.
It takes one to know one. I don't know.
Suit? May I help you? Yes, we'd like to look at some suits. Very well. What size? 12. All right. I'll see what... 12? Yes, 12. Oh, for your daughter? Fine, George. No, miss, the suit happens to be for me. Oh.
I want a size 12, too.
Shut up,
Rudolph.
Just show us the suits. We'll dye it down to fit them. Step this way, dreamer. We have some of our nicest suits right here on the rack. Oh, this one is just wonderful. Look, Iris, navy with a touch of white on the collar.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see the next one. Oh, that's for me. Perfect.
Okay, I'll write it up. Well, we can't take them until they fit us. There goes my commission. Just write it up and put them aside. Well, step over here and I'll make out a sales slip. Ooh, isn't this exciting, Iris?
Yeah.
Isn't it strange, boy? They're never so happy as when they're spending our hard-earned money.
Incidentally, how much of our precious cabbage will this be?
Oh, I don't know. Look at the price tag.
Okay. Well, not too bad. $13.50.
Well, let me see that. Look again, boy. That's $135.
For a suit?
Yeah. It at least ought to have 2 pair of pants.
Well, I can't stand a price like that. I'd better go and tell Liz the deal's off.
Oh, no, wait, boy. We'll never have to buy those suits.
We won't?
No. Here are 2 suits, size 10. We'll put the size 12 tags on them.
Mr. Atterbury, you're a genius. There's no chance of our getting stuck.
No. Size 10. Iris couldn't even get her arm through the neck hole.
Jiggers, here they come.
Okay, George, it's all set. Now all we have to do is make the weight.
How much is this going to cost me, Liz?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that. It's, $135.
Oh, is that all?
Who said that?
Mine's 150.
Very reasonable.
Oh, I get it. They don't think we'll be able to do it.
Well, we'll show them.
Yeah, come on, Iris. We'll start our diet right now.
But it's 4 o'clock.
Well, let's go someplace and not have tea.
George, boy, I'm certainly glad you invited us over to dinner. For a week now, Iris hasn't served anything but her diet food.
Oh, at your house, too?
Oh, I've eaten so many carrots, I'm beginning to whistle at rabbits instead of women.
Have you lost weight?
3 times last night, I stood up and my pants stayed sitting down.
I wish they'd hurry with dinner.
Here they come. Well, looks like they're starting off with hors d'oeuvres. Oh, this should be some meal.
I'm sorry we took so long fixing dinner, fellas.
Oh, I'll bet you boys are starved.
I'll say.
Here, Mr. Atterbury, have a piece of celery.
Oh, thanks.
George,
Oh, thanks.
one for me and one for Iris.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Liz, that was a fine dinner.
Thanks.
Okay!
Are you kidding, Liz?
Certainly not. This is the way we lose weight. How much have you lost, Iris?
14 pounds.
Oh, I've only lost 12. Well, come on, dinner's over. Let's do the dish.
The housework's easier this way, isn't it?
I'll say.
George, I'm getting worried.
Yeah, so am I. If they lost that much weight, we're in trouble, even with those size 10 suits.
We better go back this afternoon and switch them again. They'll never make it down to a size 8.
Liz, why on earth did you have me meet you here in the malt shop? Are you trying to torture me?
No, I've got a plan. You said last night you lost 14 pounds, right?
Yeah.
You didn't lose half that much, did you?
No.
How much did you lose?
3/4.
3/4 of 14?
No, 3/4 of a pound. How much did you lose?
I gained a pound.
How come?
I don't know. But by the time we lose enough to wear those suits, we'll have to be wheeled in the Easter parade.
So?
So I called that salesgirl at Miller's this morning, and I made a deal with her. She'll switch the suits to a size 14 and put the size 12 tags on them.
Oh, Liz, you're a genius. Let's order something gooey right now.
I already did. I ordered 2 double fudge sundaes, smothered in whipped cream, nuts, and cherries.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
Those are for me. What do you want?
The same.
Waiter, double up on those sundaes and give me a milkshake while I'm waiting.
Miss Evans, could I see you a minute?
What is it, Mr. Morgan? I was just going out to lunch.
Keep your eyes open. There's been another outbreak of shoplifting in the dress and suit departments.
I haven't seen a thing.
And I don't wonder. Their technique is to put the clothes on under their own dresses and walk out that way.
Oh.
Well, you run along. I'll keep an eye on your department while you're gone.
Pardon me. I'm looking for the salesgirl who waited on me. Miss Evans, I think her name was.
Well, I'm sorry. She's out to lunch. Can someone else help you?
No, thanks. We'll just look around by ourselves.
Oh.
Is he gone, Iris?
Yeah.
Good. Then let's grab 2 size 14 suits and see if they fit us.
Okay. Here are the 14s.
Good. Now, let's go in the dressing room. These ought to fit us easy.
Oh, sure.
I'll just slip this skirt on and... Then the jacket. And I'll button it up.
I think we can get into these.
Oh, dear. Look at me, Iris.
It is skin tight, isn't it?
It's tighter than that. I can move in my skin. How does yours fit?
Which way are the 16s?
Well, come on. Let's go out and try them. I wonder if they have a navy blue tent with a white collar.
The 16s should be right along here. What's the matter, girl? Did you see yourself in the mirror?
No, look over there. George and Mr. Atterbury.
So what?
So do you want them to find us in these suits? They'll know what we're up to.
Oh, you're right, girl. What do we do?
They saw us. Quick, back into the dressing room.
Okay.
We got to get out of these clothes.
We don't have time.
Iris, come out here. Liz, I want to see you right now.
We don't have time to change. What do? We'll have to put our dresses on right over these suits.
I'll give you 3, Iris. That goes for you, too, Liz.
Just a second. Are you ready, Iris?
Wait a minute. Okay.
I feel bulgier than ever. Well, here goes. Hi, George.
Hello.
What are you two doing here?
I'll bet I know.
What? Who are you?
I'm the manager. These women are shoplifters.
Shoplifters?
Now, just a minute. I'm Rudolph Atterbury, president of the Sheridan Falls National Bank. And this is my
Just a moment, Mr. Atterbury, before you blow your top. Do you know what those women have on under their dresses? No. Do you? I certainly do.
What?
Well, it's an old gag. They put new merchandise on under their dress and walk out with it.
Preposterous. Isn't it, Iris?
Isn't it, Liz? Are you girls out of your heads? Have you really got stolen merchandise on?
Well, sort of.
Oh, Gad! Oh, Gad!
Look, we can explain. Really, just get us out of this.
Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Atterbury. Listen.
Genius.
Look, girls, if we get you out of this, will you forget about the Easter suits?
No, that's not fair.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's enough of that whispering. Say, what's your connection with these women anyway, Mr. Atterbury?
I never saw them before in my life.
What?
Neither did I. Oh, they look like shady characters to me.
Never saw us before. Listen, this big fat tub of lard...
Wait, Iris.
Tub?
Let me tell Iris. We are shoplifters.
What?
What? I'm tired of doing all the dirty work for these masterminds.
You mastermind?
Sure. Fagin Atterbury and Blackie Cooper. They made us pose as their wives while they trained us. First it was picking pockets. We got pretty good.
Yeah. Remember that cute little baby kangaroo you picked up at the zoo?
Yeah, his mother never felt a thing.
Then we worked on bigger and bigger things until one day at a carnival, Liz made me a dare.
She did it, too. But the next 3 months were misery. Trying to hide out with a hot merry-go-round on our hands.
Now, that's enough. Iris, Liz, are you going to tell the truth or not?
Why, Fagin, we're telling the truth. Raise my right hand and hope to have a new Easter outfit, including gloves, shoes, and hat.
That goes double for me.
What do you say, George?
We're stuck.
Mr. Manager, my good fellow, will you forget this incident if we, buy each of the girls a whole new outfit?
Well...
How about 2 Easter outfits each?
How about 3? We'll make it 4.
Oh, shut up!
There's 2 outfits in Italy.
2 outfits. Okay.
Yeah, I suggest you choose them from this department over here, where we keep our more expensive suits.
Happy Easter, Iris.
You have been listening to My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, and based on characters created by Isabel Scott Rorick. Tonight's transcribed program was produced and directed by Jess Oppenheimer, who wrote the script with Madeline Pugh and Bob Carroll Jr. Original music was composed by Marlon Skiles and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. The parts of Mr. and Mrs. Atterbury were played by Gale-Gordon and bea-benederet. Others in the cast were Frank Nelson and Shirley Mitchell. Be sure to watch for Lucille Ball as the hilarious cosmetic dealer in Columbia's picture, The Fuller Brush Girl.
124 episodes of My Favorite Husband from July 23rd, 1948 to March 31st, 1951. And it's interesting that the show would end March 31st, 1951, because, interestingly enough, I Love Lucy would begin October 15th of 1951. So, it was a nice transition. All you changed was the male lead from Richard Denning to on radio to becoming Desi Arnaz on television. March 24th, 1951, My Favorite Husband here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you for making us a part of your day, and have yourself a great day. Thank this station, support their advertisers if you would please. Their kindness and courtesy allow us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. Miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available at classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. Stream our shows, learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me, find our social media links. You can also buy me a coffee. That Buy Me a Coffee money helps us keep our distribution channels open, and it helps us acquire additional classic radio collections. Thank you for tuning in, and please tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station. Have a great weekend.